Welcome to the 216.
We're excited today to be joined by our April Changemakers, Lauren Davis, as well as David and Frances Dickenson. For the first time ever, we have 3 Changemakers on the show, and we're very excited to have you all on today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Excited to be here.
Thank you for having
Can't wait.
So if you haven't checked out our Two's Q's with Lauren, please check that out on YouTube or Spotify. We have some very special, I'm going to get emotional. We have some very special guests today. They mean so much to us. And we're so excited to get into the story as to how we all got connected and how you've been connected with Lauren and all the relationships that we have here at the Two. So thank you guys so much for being here.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes.
Lauren, can you talk to us about your early years and growing up here in Cleveland?
Yeah, so I grew up here until I was 16. Grew up playing tennis and soccer, and was very good at both. But then when I was 13, my mom had me choose between one of the two, just because they were both very time-consuming. So obviously, I ended up choosing tennis, and I have no regrets. I feel like that was a good decision for me. And then at 16 years old, I made the decision to move down to Florida to pursue my tennis dreams even more. I felt like the training was just going to be a little bit more advanced there. There were more players to hit with, and yeah, it was a really good decision. I feel like if not for that decision, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish all that I've been able to. And the Dickinsons have been like just a huge part of my story. They are the ones who kind of planted the idea in my heart to move down to Florida and pursue my dreams.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
Lauren, I know you said you moved down to Florida at 16. I mean, to be that age, that had to be a huge change for you. How did you kind of acclimate from being up here and then moving down there at such a young age?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I had a lot of trouble with it at first. My mom also had a lot of trouble with it. At such a young age, moving away from home to pursue your dreams is it's definitely, I feel like, a bold act looking back. But yeah, like I missed simple things like my friends and going to homecoming, going to prom, things like that. Another thing that was also tough for me was when my friends started going to college, and I just had major FOMO, and I was on the road traveling 35 weeks a year at such a young age, and I feel like I was just missing out on a lot of things. But it was a season that lasted maybe a year, and started making friends on tour, and was able to really kind of acclimate and adjust from then on.
That's great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It is. Lauren, ultimately you turned down college, college experience to go professional. What went into that decision for you?
Yeah, that was a tough decision. And being only 17 years old, it's like, how do you make a decision of that enormity? But I had my family nearby to kind of help me, guide me in the decision making. I had the Dickinsons. I had John Everett and Chris Everett at the time helping me. But I just remember at 17, I won a string of like maybe 30, 35 matches in a row. And after that last tournament that I won, I remember like have this vivid feeling of just like my heart swelling, just how much I loved the sport and how much passion I had for it and how much I loved winning. And I think I just had my decision right then and there that I was going to pursue this for my career, and I haven't had any regrets. So yeah, it's been a good time.
I know you mentioned Chris Everett. How did that connection come about?
Yeah, so when I was 15, I played Junior US Open.
Okay.
And obviously living and training in Cleveland at the time, I did really well. I made it to the quarters, and John Everett was there watching me and invited me to come for a short training block at Everett.
Uh-huh.
And I was just ecstatic. I was on cloud 9 that he had noticed me, recognized me, and just seen talent in my game. And so I went down there, and Madison Keys was there at the time, so trained with her a lot. And but yeah, that's how the connection kind of started.
That's awesome.
Well, thanks, Lauren, so much for sharing. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I learned things I never knew. And now we're just interested to get David and Frances in and learn a little bit more about you guys with the tennis, your background in tennis. Frances, can you give us some background on what got you into tennis originally?
So I was swimming and diving nationally from the age of 6 to 10. And when I was 8, my mother said, you know, you really should know something about tennis. So she took me out on the court, and I did not like it. And then she tried again when I was 9, and I didn't like it. So then when I was 10, she said, I really think you need to have a little time on the tennis court. So I liked it. So I remember going to my parents. I sat on my dad's lap, and I said, I've got a big decision. They said, what's that? You're 10 years old. And Dad, I said, I'm going to give up swimming and diving, and I'm going to start playing tennis. And Dad said, quote unquote, God gave you a talent, and maybe that's not a very good decision. Mm-hmm. And I strongly said, I think it's the perfect decision. Mm-hmm. And here I am, almost 84 years old, still playing tournaments.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That is.
Amazing. So David, we have the same question for you. Can you give us some background on what got you into tennis?
That's very interesting because I grew up on a golf course that had no tennis courts. And my parents taught me golf at an early age. And my mother was the one that pressed me into playing tennis. And there were a couple of backboards at private houses on this particular golf course. And she got me to go up and hit on the backboard. And I loved it. And I decided that I wanted to be better and become a tennis player. And that's how it all happened.
Wow.
That's amazing. So Lauren, I know David and Frances have obviously been instrumental here with the two, but they've also been very instrumental in your life. Could you kind of tell us how they played a role in supporting you throughout your journey?
Yeah, they been hugely influential in my career. When I was young, they noticed my talent from a young age, and was constantly just badgering my mom, like, "Hey, she's got talent, she's got ability. She should maybe pursue these dreams in Florida." And I don't remember this, but they say I wrote them a letter at age 16, just explaining all the reasons why I want to move down there, because my mom was just heavily against it. But so yeah, through the Gene Scott Award, I was able to go down there. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to afford it. But yeah, if not for that, I wouldn't have accomplished what I have been able to accomplish. And since then, they've been to so many of my tournaments. They've been to Australian Open.
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they flew down under, and just many more. So it's just, their support over the years has just been invaluable to me. And yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
So you've been so supportive and encouraging to Lauren, but also so much to us. Sorry. I always say that, you know, you're the two angels that God sent us. And they have such a gift. You have such a gift of encouragement. And I know Lauren's experienced that. I've experienced that. And we're so grateful. So what was it about the two that, you know, when we first met, what do you think it was about the two that made you guys decide that, you know, this was a place that you really wanted to kind of participate in and support in so many ways?
Well, first of all, we were so impressed by you and what you were doing. And to see that there were going to be no labels and that everybody was going to be inclusive was just an eye-opener that we'd never experienced. David?
You know, I think that, of course, with my history with my daughter Sarah, who was born basically what I refer to in the dark ages of that kind of situation. Matter of fact, I mean, when she first started having surgeries, there was no intensive care ward for children. Mm-hmm. And so she would be put in an incubator in a hallway.
Yeah.
And you know, that's not, I mean, that should not be the way, that's not the way things are handled today.
Of course.
And I think that all of us understand that people that are born in a different fashion, they learn how to cope. That I have always felt that, I mean, you guys in my world are the strongest people I know.
I appreciate that.
Sarah was very strong. And I've always said that because having to cope every moment of your life is very different than anything that we experience. So when I learned about the two, and the love and the individuality of what we're trying to achieve, it was, for some reason, Sarah's mother and I, in the beginning, did that. We didn't know any other way. And I knew this was the right step to get behind it. And as I said to you, Sherry, I said, I'm going to put you on the map.
Yeah.
And
Yep,
we did.
And you did.
We
And
did.
You are.
So, I mean, it's because of my love and my experience with my daughter, Sarah, Frances, who knew Sarah when she was born, and what sort of all my friends went through and what other people have gone through. I mean, it just was a natural fit.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I want to concentrate on what really is meaningful to me?
Well, I always say it's a calling, that God has put on our lives, and so thankful we're in it together. And, I think that one of the things that sets the two so apart is because it's driven by love and by, parents that understand that our kids are all amazing and they are so much bigger than any diagnosis or any label, and that should never define anybody. And I think we have the same heartbeat, and that's, why the two exists. And we are so thankful that we're on this journey, all of us together, to say people are so much bigger than any diagnosis could ever be. And with the focus on strengths, like what can any of us accomplish? Like you've accomplished so much, Lauren and David and Frances. We're going to get into more about all that you guys have accomplished on the tennis court too. So we'll talk a little more about that. But Derek, I'll go ahead and let you ask the next question.
David, can you share the Sarah and Heinen's story?
I can, because this is, we refer to these as God moments. And I've had a few this year, but I was checking out a Heinen's, and I was buying some dog food, and it was the exact day of Sarah's death. It was May 19th of this year. Of last year. And I put my purchases on the thing, and there was somebody there putting it into the bag. I have my own bag. And all of a sudden this voice says, "What kind of dogs you have?" And interesting question, and I said, I just, I'm paying attention, I'm going to pay, and I said, well, I have English setters. What are their names? And I still haven't, this voice is coming from, the cash register across, and I said, well, one is named Patch, and one is named Dixie. And at that point in time, it's cleared, and I see this young woman packing my bag for me. And I see her nameplate, and her name is Sarah, which is my daughter's name. And this is the date of Sarah's death, exact day. And I said, Sarah, have you ever heard of the Two Foundation? She said, that's why I'm here.
Oh, wow.
And ever since that time I see her, and I always say, Sarah, how are you? And she asks about the dogs, and so we have this commonality. But Sarah was hired by Heinen's. That's the kind of place Heinen's is, and it's just wonderful. And she's up there, and every time I see her, we talk. And
She's
she's
always
very
Another
outgoing.
God story.
always so enthusiastic,
Oh,
smiling.
yes. Oh, she's the best.
She's boisterous.
We always say our grads are the magic behind the two. They're the
Yeah.
ones in all these over 135 companies opening eyes and changing minds for what's possible.
Sure.
When you don't focus on the challenge, right? You
Right.
focus on what's possible.
Yeah, and
Thank you for sharing that.
Grads definitely continue the mission outside of the two.
Yes.
That was an amazing story, David. So Lauren, I know we all have obstacles in our lives. What would you say have been some of the biggest obstacles that you've had to overcome in your tennis career and your life in general?
Yeah, I would say in terms of my tennis, one of the greatest obstacles I faced was I turned pro when I was 17 at Australian Open, and then in, I think it was April of that year, so just 2 or 3 months later, I was at a tournament in Charleston,
Okay.
and I had just lost my match, but I was about to get interviewed, and it was outside. So here I am, just waiting to get interviewed. I'm watching Stozer getting interviewed at the time, and I turn around, and next thing you know, like a big gust of wind just like blows this big type of like light fixture over on my head, and so I had a traumatic brain injury from that, and a bad concussion, and so for the next 3 months plus, not only was I dealing with migraines and crippling anxiety on a daily basis, but yeah, I mean, early on in my career, I had to take time away from tennis, and it was the most difficult thing for me, like a young pro.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just been very hard. But something Sherry was saying, not putting limitations and labels on things. I'm 5'2", so I'm very short for the tennis tour.
Right.
I think I was one of 2 of the shortest players in the top, like, say, 150. So that very well could have been like a limitation that I put on myself, because I definitely heard things from other people and coaches saying you're too short, like there's no point in working on your serve because of your height. And so if I would have listened to these voices, like I would not have been able to accomplish what I was able to. And I'm just grateful to myself and to having the Dickinsons and good people around me who were able to encourage me and put just different thoughts and beliefs in my head. So yeah.
That's awesome though, that you could overcome that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing that.
Lauren, you officially retired from tennis in November 2025. What's next for you? What are you still wanting to accomplish?
Yes, so saying goodbye to a 15-year career was definitely very tough and difficult and very emotional for me. And I've always loved tennis. It'll always be a part of me. I played tennis for 25 years of my life. So I just get emotional talking about it, because it's just like, how do you say goodbye to something that was a part of your life for so long? But I would love to stay in tennis to some capacity. I've been coaching since I've been home in Florida, and that's been a really good way for me to give back. I've realized once I took a break from tennis for about 5 months that I would just love to be able to give back and help kids who are going through the same struggles that I experienced. So I've been coaching a little bit. I would also like to get into broadcasting moving forward. So I've been reaching out to some of my contacts to maybe get involved in that. So yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of just taking it day by day at this time.
So David and Frances, we know here at the two, we're all about living life to the fullest and everyone's full potential. I'm really inspired by your story, as I know you're still playing competitive tennis into your 80s. What do you credit for your longevity and overall health?
Well, God certainly has blessed David and me.
For sure.
And I think a lot of it is the fact that we do that together and something, it's so much a part of us. And I think that we've tried to be very diligent about what we eat and how we sleep,
Yeah.
our training. It's all part of it. And so far, so good. We're off to play another national husband and wife tournament next week.
#1 in the world, right? That's what I heard.
No,
Yep.
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Almost.
Well,
#2.
I was going to say, tell us about some of the things that you've won over the years.
Well, let me also just make a comment to Lauren. Just don't give up tennis. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't need to ever divorce yourself from that, because it's very special. It's been special for you. It's been special for us to be with you through your journey, and it's been special for us to continue playing and all. I mean, like your mother's a player, and it's just, it's just such a connective sport.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Anywhere you go, you're always in the middle of and with your talents. You're
Yeah. Tennis makes the world smaller.
Yeah.
it's
It's a
just
nice way to put it.
yeah.
And it's so neat that you guys have a sport you can stick with for the rest of your life. Like football players, they can't really do that. So,
Sure.
yeah,
But it does get
It's a
harder as you
blessing.
get older sticking with it.
I'm sure.
Sure, yeah.
I'm
Things
sure.
do happen.
Yeah.
We're not void of that. We
Right.
still are exposed in that. But for us, it's a joy because we generally now interface with younger people, and that's fun. I mean, that's really fun. I mean, at our age, it's nice to have the injection from people younger than us. Instead
Right.
of, I don't mean this is not a negative on our older friends, but the energy you pick up.
Yeah.
From
it
it is-
raises your energy level.
Yeah. So that we really value that, and wherever we go, we have these acceptances where we hit a tennis ball and together, and somebody will come over, and you just have a common thread.
Of course.
For sure.
I'll tell you a funny story. So we were in Alaska. We were up there for 5 weeks. We were sleeping in tents, and we always take our rackets. So we go out into the tundra and hit balls back and forth. So this one day we're leaving the campsite in a little teeny plane, and I looked down, and two of the guides that were down on the ground, they'd gone into our tent, and they'd taken out our rackets, and they were trying to hit balls with our rackets. I said, David, look down there. That was pretty funny. But we carry our rackets everywhere, and if there's not a court, there's a parking lot, or there's tundra.
Yeah, play on the tundra, right?
Yeah,
That's funny.
pretty tough. Doesn't bounce.
It is.
But you have accomplished so much in tennis too. So both in the Cleveland Hall of Fame for tennis, and Frances, I know just a couple years ago you did win a big award. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I won the 80 clay court nationals, and because of that and some of my other wins, I was able to make the world team. They only take 4 women in each age group, and was able to go to, representing the United States, go to Mallorca and play on the team, and then the following week play in the individuals that David and I played in. That was very exciting.
And you came back with some very nice awards.
Yes.
I just carry the rackets.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's beautiful shape, though.
Yes.
He takes
And
good
the
care of the
Yes.
rackets.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we know you've accomplished so much too, David. And you went to University of Virginia on a full ride tennis
No, I
scholarship.
didn't go on a full ride.
Oh, okay.
My father would not let me take a scholarship.
Really?
He said, I can afford to send you to college. And he said, if you take the scholarship, somebody else won't be able to go.
Wow.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
That is.
He's an
Amazing.
interesting man. He was an All-American football player and captain of the Princeton team of destiny, which you all can look up.
That's it.
It's a 1922 undefeated Princeton football team that wasn't supposed to win any games, and they won them all. And the last game they won was against the University of Chicago, in Chicago, and Alonzo Stagg was the coach for the University of Chicago in those days. And they ended up the year undefeated, beating Ohio State, beating Virginia, and then the Yale and all those other Eastern schools.
Yeah.
And they were voted the national champions.
Wow. That's amazing.
So that was sort of my background of athletics.
Wow.
So,
That's impressive.
but so, you know, I've been blessed with some awards, but my real reward is giving back to the game.
Very cool.
That is. So, David and Frances, who has been your change maker in your lives?
Who have been change makers for us?
Yes.
Sarah Dickenson for me. She taught me more about life than anybody. Mom and Dad were very important, and my siblings were very important, but nobody was more important than Sarah.
I think tennis in itself opened so many doors that it completely changed my life. So, you know, people that you met, places that you were invited to go to, tournaments, everything about it. And so I've been playing tennis for 74 years.
Well,
Wow.
we met at a tennis event when she was 13 and I was 16. So
And
that's
played
where-
together ever since.
Ever since then.
Yeah,
Maybe you're each other's change makers.
Yeah.
there you go.
I'm sure very much so.
Yes.
Yep. Well, you guys have changed so many lives at the two. We're into hundreds of graduates at this point. You've brought us so many donors that would never have known about the two. Helped us in so many ways to purchase our new building, and just the list goes on, and running our fall fundraiser for us every year, chairing that. We're just forever grateful, and thank God so much that he brought us together, and we thank you guys so much. And Lauren, thank you so much for being here and being part of this story. And yeah, we'll just continue on this journey together. And I always say I know we all agree that we're so blessed to be able to serve others and to
Absolutely.
just be able to give it our best to make sure they can live their best lives here at the two. And, you know, we're just forever grateful. So thank you guys so much.
It's our pleasure.
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you guys on. And David and Frances, without you, I never would have met the Hunters. So I thank you too, as I've really come to appreciate this place, and obviously this job has meant so much to me. So I thank you for doing all that you do for the two.
Well, again, it's
Our pleasure.
our
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
We want to just give you some little gifts. So David, this is the 216 hat.
Oh, nice.
That we're gonna give you.
So now we know how we can.
What you're part of here. Lauren, here's just a little together shirt and bag for you. Thank you so much. And Frances,
It looks good on you.
bag and
Yeah,
shirt for
thank you. I should have been wearing it now.
Oh no, you look great, just as you are.
This will be a great new bag for my tennis racket.
Oh, good.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Put the racket in there.
that's,
Yep, that's it. Yeah. We don't have any endorsements, you know. We're not like Lauren. We don't get that.
Frances used to have an endorsement.
yeah, I know. Darn.
Frances she's knows she has no more clothes coming. I mean, just
That's why she's
tough,
really
yeah.
she's trying to.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
David asked me the other day if he was now going to have to be my sponsor
Yeah, he's your new
For her tennis
shopping
for the tennis clothes. I said, yep, that's it.
Just have the name.
Yeah, you think about, well, I mean, but it's interesting, what this all means to this little circle of us. I mean, how the two has affected you, how you've affected the two, how you've affected the two, and that you came to us, and what a difference it has made for you in your life, and you wrap Lauren in here when I can remember her in our kitchen when we're saying, you have to go down to Everett Academy. That's the place for you, and your mother was there, and you were explaining, what you want to do, and your mother was not listening, and not hearing,
Yes.
and you had your head down on the counter,
Absolutely.
like this,
Buried on our
buried.
kitchen counter.
And I said to you, Lauren, what do you want in the world? And you stood up, or not stood up, you sat up and said, I want to be number one in the world.
Wow.
Absolutely
And
correct.
I said to your mom, I said, did you hear that? She can be number one in the world if she goes down the Everett Academy. She can't be number one in the world playing college tennis.
Right.
And what was your highest ranking?
26.
26. I mean, to think that you that were able to become the 26th ranked player in the world.
Amazing.
Amazing.
That is.
Amazing, amazing. And you won 2 WTA tournaments. I mean, the WTA tournaments. And we were over in New Zealand, and we went to this in Auckland, in Auckland. Hobart. And we went to the club where she won the tournament. And the Williams sisters were in it. I mean, every top-ranked player was in it. And she won the tournament, and the people there still remember Lauren Davis. I mean, they all talked, all the people. I mean, so she had an effect because, again, of her size, which she
And
admitted,
personality.
and
Wonderful
personality,
personality.
to make a difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just and to win. Remarkable.
Amazing.
We're so proud of her for
Thank you, guys.
doing what
Yes.
she accomplished. I mean, all these other gals that are out there, and they're wonderful players, 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
Can you imagine someone
Yeah.
Lauren's size covering the court, and you have a 6-footer over here, takes one step, and Lauren takes 2.
Yeah.
Like,
It's amazing. It's an amazing
Testament
what she
to-
accomplished.
When you focus on, your strengths and the ability to compensate. I always say that most of us, we all have challenges, right? But we figure out how to compensate for those challenges, and we focus on the things we're really good at. And
Yeah.
that's what we're all about here at the Two. And congratulations on all you've achieved, and same to you guys. I am so non-athletic, I can't relate, but I have great admiration for those of you who do.
There's all the athletics in your family. Right?
My kids got all the athletics, and it didn't come from me. But I love sports, and we are so honored that we have all of you here. And thank you
We're
guys so
honored to
much.
be here.
Yeah, it's been a true honor to have you guys on. That was an amazing interview. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. Please stay tuned for our next episode as we continue through our great list of season 2 guests. Derek?
make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and check us out on Spotify. Can make a difference together. Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.